this video, we're being asked to show that segment SX is perpendicular to segment WX, given that angle 1 is complementary to angle 2. Really what you want to think about, if they're perpendicular, they're going to have right angles. So somewhere I want to talk about some right angles. And if I've got right angles, then maybe I need to talk about 90 degrees. So keeping all those things in mind and trying to progress through this question, we're probably going to see that information pop up. Wrote down the given already. Angle 1 is complementary to angle 2. We talked in class, complementary means they sum to be 90 degrees. So I'll say measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees. That's the definition of complementary angles. Okay. Now, if that's the case, a lot of people are going to say, well, let's just say that measure of angle 1 and measure of angle 2 added together is a right angle. And eventually that's kind of what we're going to show. But I need to basically show that that angle is a right angle and not the sum of 1 and 2 being a right angle. So what I want to do is look at my picture, and I've talked to you about this in the past. If your picture just shows angles, and those angles are adjacent like 1 and 2 are, chances are you want to use the angle addition postulate. Okay, so write something out that identifies the angle addition postulate or utilizes the angle addition postulate. So I know that measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2, if I take that angle there and add to it that angle, that's essentially going to trace out that angle. Okay, so that angle I'm going to call SXW. So 1 plus 2 is actually going to be equal to measure of angle SXW. That's your angle addition. Okay. Now, looking at these two steps here, I know that angle 1 plus 2 is equal to SXW, and 1 plus 2 is equal to 90. Okay. Well, I want to show that SXW, this angle right here, is actually a right angle. So my substitution that I'm going to use here is to replace 1 plus 2 with SXW. So I'll say measure of angle SXW is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, that's just substitution. Okay, again, I knew 1 plus 2 was 90 and 1 plus 2 was SXW. So let's replace 1 plus 2 with SXW. So now, what kind of angle is angle SXW that I've got highlighted up here? Well, it's 90 degrees, so angle SXW has to be a right angle. So I'll say is a right angle because the definition of right angles states that it's an angle with a measurement of 90 degrees, and we've shown SXW to be 90 degrees. So now if that's a right angle, SXW is a right angle, then I know for a fact that SX has to be perpendicular to WX by the definition of perpendicular lines. Okay? Remember, the definition of perpendicular line says it's two lines that form a right angle. Well, we know we've got a right angle. What lines form that right angle? SX and WX. Okay? And now we've proven what we need to prove.